Okay, we are going to walk through the process of creating a purchase order. So as you can see, I'm on the sales order object in Ascent, and we've got a number of options up here to the right, one of which is create PO and lines. Now what this will do is this will take our sales order lines, which came over from the opportunity, and create a purchase order for them. So we're going to hit create PO and lines. Now, as you can notice, we're back on the sales order. It did not open up a new object. However, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, there is our purchase order, PO-000009. We're going to open this up, and we've got some basic information here about our purchase order in addition to our purchase order lines. And as you can see, it adjusted the price from the sale price to the cost. It also added an extra shirt because, as you know, the original order over here on the sales order was for one each, but it added a second one. What we've done is we've actually built in a surplus ratio so that we can account automatically for fallout. So this purchase order is going to order exactly 6 shirts based on the system cost of $319. Now, if there happens to be a different price, we can update that right there. So maybe we check the wholesaler, and normally our price is $319, but this is actually going to be $327. So we can update that there. 27, 327, and we can save it. Now, a couple things to point out on this purchase order. First of all, we mentioned every purchase order gets a unique purchase order number. It will also automatically connect it to the sales order, which you launch the purchase order from. So if you ever need to get back there, that's an easy way to click back to the sales order. It also has the job number. Now, this is something that appears on every object related to an order. So an opportunity, a sales order, a purchase order, a work order. This is the one unifying number that can always link everything back. And then the total quantity received, or total quantity to receive, is 6. And again, that's because we added an extra one on each one of these lines to make it a total of 6. And then 1914 is the total cost of this order. Now, there are a few fields that we do require information in. First is the vendor, so we know where it's coming from. We would look up the vendor here, and we will look for Alpha Broder. There it is. Okay, so now we know this is coming from Alpha Broder. Also, when you purchase from the wholesaler, we would love to put the tracking code in here just so we know when to expect it. So let's just make up a tracking code. Now this PO is saved, and we can actually go back to our list of purchase orders to see all open purchase orders that are currently in the queue and when the order date was. Sorry, I had to update the view here, but we added a few more fields. So on the purchase order object, you'll see all your purchase orders that are open, and you can toggle that by looking at all or just open. You also see the type of purchase order, which will always be standard, the order date, the due date, and then of course the total quantity on that purchase order and the amount. And once again, this purchase order 9 has all the corresponding information we just went over. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is if we do have to pay for freight in, we will need to add that as a line item. And so in order to do that, we can go to add line items by group, and we can find there is a group for freight. and there's just one line item for freight. So we're going to select that and we're going to add that in. And we'll simply just put the price in. So let's say we had to pay shipping of $12 for this. We'll go ahead and just put that in. It's just a quantity of one, flat rate of $12, and we'll save that. And now it's added on to there. So what you should see, if we go back to our purchase order, is now purchase order 9, same information, but the amount's gone up to $31.62 because we added that shipping amount. Now, the POs stay active in this window as open purchase orders until QC, the team in production, receives these POs, in which case the purchase order will be closed out and the production stage will automatically change over to shirts received. And so, really, there's no other steps when purchasing shirts. Once you've filled out all the necessary information on the purchase order and opened it up in this queue, the next step will be for QC to take over and receive those shirts.